You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening. I'm Amaya Norman, and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Just before 1 p.m. on Monday, November 25th, a $30,000 was stolen from a man in Ganado. The victim, owner of J&J Stores, was followed from a Sugarland bank by a suspect in a white Mazda. After pulling up behind his truck, a suspect in an all-white hoodie stole the bag of money while a victim was inside the store. Ganado police tracked the suspect using street cameras, identifying the car as a rental from Houston. This type of crime, known as jugging, has been reported multiple times recently in Bend County. Authorities are still investigating. Join Affected Arms Adult Day Care for a special Christmas open house and silent auction fundraiser located at 3802 John Stock Barrow. Come by Saturday, December 7th from 1 to 3 p.m. for festive fun, great auction items, and the chance to support a wonderful cause by giving donations. For more information, call 361-578-9067 or 361-655-4468. This holiday season, Trust Texas Bank invites you to experience Christmas in the park in Cuero from November 25th to January 1st. Drive through a spectacular night display, free for all. Donations are welcome to support local causes. Plus, free hot chocolate every Thursday night in December. Bring your families, bring a friend, and make this Christmas one to remember with Christmas in the Park located in Cuero. The city of Victoria is getting the holiday season started with a festivity week of events. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joined us with a breakdown of what you will see this week. Trenton.
Thank you, Amaya. Victoria is getting their residents into the holiday spirit with the lighting of the H-E-B Christmas tree and a lighted Christmas parade. This year is a little more special as the city celebrates its 200th year anniversary. The festivities begin this upcoming Friday with the lighting of the 30-foot Christmas tree at De Leon Plaza. The lighting will also include performances by Crossroads Jazz Combo and the Trinity Episcopal School Choir. The city will live stream the event on its Facebook page. The tree will play a musical light show every half hour in evenings through January. The next day after the lighting, the annual lighted Christmas parade marches through downtown. It'll feature over 100 businesses, churches, bands, and several other clubs and organizations. That event will also be live streamed on Facebook. So let's take a look at when Friday's Christmas tree lighting will be. It starts at 5:30 p.m. at the De Leon Plaza. Then the next day on Saturday, the lighted Christmas parade starts at 6 p.m. Food trucks downtown and children's activities will open at 5 p.m. But that's not the last holiday activity before Christmas. On Saturday, December 14th, the city of Victoria will host Merry on Main, featuring more vendors, activities, and entertainment. It's looking like it's going to be an active holiday season. Amaya, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton. An organization is hosting a Christmas fundraiser to support a wonderful cause. Yes, it's been up for weeks, not yet planning too soon. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote and we will have your results which is tonight. The percentage for the result, do you have your Christmas tree up? Is yes, it's been up for weeks, 55%. And thank you for voting. A heartbreaking ending in the search for a missing 7-year-old boy is in Wisconsin. Police and 2 rivals announced that the body of Jacob Bear has been found. Bear was an autistic boy who was playing outside Saturday at a park when his father lost sight of him. The boy apparently walked into the wooded area. Some of his belongings were found in a waterway before his body was positively identified. New video showing a very plain out theft by a group of suspects using a stolen excavator to rip apart an ATM. Let's take a look.
Everything from the stolen black pickup truck that was sitting here in the parking lot to when the excavator came and ripped this ATM out from this area and then led police on a short pursuit down East Main Street.
Surveillance video captures the moment 3 suspects used an excavator to tackle a BECU ATM on Saturday morning.
Extremely unusual. Don't respond to these kinds of specific instances.
A scene that Captain Greg Massey tells me they weren't expecting. Police say the excavator was taken from a nearby construction site. You can see the heavy machinery making its way down East Main Street. while a black pickup truck waited by the ATM. Witnesses tell me that's when they saw 3 suspects in black masks hook a chain to the backhoe and uproot the entire machine.
They ripped the actual ATM out of that enclosed case and then loaded that into the truck and left with it.
Massey says officers arrived about 1 minute after it was called in. You can see the truck speed off with the ATM in the trunk, with officers following close behind. A short chase took place, but then it got too dangerous for police to pursue.
But with the vehicle driving as recklessly as it was to include into oncoming lanes, putting the public at risk.
And police tell me this is the second time something exactly like this has happened in the area in just the past week. We're talking stolen ATM with a stolen excavator, and they believe these are the same suspects tied to that crime as well. But they are asking anyone that was here that saw what happened to call them immediately. In Puyallup, Samantha Meebow, KARA 7 News.
The husband of a woman who went missing while reportedly hiking with her 2 dogs in Oregon has been arrested for murder. 71-year-old Michael Fernay was arrested Friday and booked into Clackamas County Jail after his wife Susan Lane Fournier was reported missing on November 22nd. She had gone hiking with her 2 dogs in Mount Hood National Forest, but never showed up for work. A multiple-day search ended when Lane's body was found near Highway 26. The medical examiner confirmed her death as a homicide. Fournier has been charged with second-degree murder and is held without bail. Authorities are still searching for the missing dogs. Now it's time to check in our weather with our first warm storm team meteorologist Trey Miney. Trey.
And let's take a look at the review of the day weather-wise for Victoria. 74 degrees was the high, low 51 degrees, which is pretty much near normal for this time of year. The average is 70 for the high, 48 for the low, and nowhere near a cold day back in 1911 or 26 degrees, or the record high in the state, 1933, 87 degrees. Rainfall for the year, still we're looking at almost about 5 inches under normal for the year 2024, catching up with that a little bit, which is certainly good news. What days have the best rain chances? Find out coming up a little bit later on in the full 7-day outlook.
A federal appeals court on Wednesday stopped the federal government from destroying a fence or razor wire that Texas installed along the U.S.-Mexico border near Eagle Pass to deter migrants from entering the country illegally. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com. Turning now to a holiday tradition in Cuero, where Christmas in the park is marking quite a milestone. The dazzling light display, started by longtime residents Sarah and Alton Myers, celebrate its 25th anniversary this year. Journalist Bill Clough takes us behind the scene with the Myers, who have helped make this beloved event a shining holiday staple for the community.
There's nothing like a Christmas birthday. Just ask Sarah and Alton Meyer. They started Cuero's Christmas in the Park. This year, it celebrates its 25th anniversary.
We had Turkey Fest in October. We needed something in Christmas time.
With an army of volunteers, they ran it until the mid-2000s, when the city took it over. It now covers 178 acres.
We got 275 to 300 scenes. We had 300 snowflakes. We got 30 pine trees. And we have about 25 deer. And on an occasional night, you might see a live deer walking through the park, but they like to come through and visit as well.
Sarah is the former mayor of Cuero for 14 years.
It has created a lot of fun. It has grown to well over 100,000 people coming through the park, and everyone in Cuero is excited about that.
But how do they know?
We asked them.
Is it paying for itself?
Yes.
Barely.
Work on the display begins in late September. The couple says everything will be ready for opening night.
The Victoria County Commissioner will meet at the county courthouse tomorrow at 10 in the morning for a regular meeting. They will be talking about a few proposals, including the relocation of animal control services and the construction of a mental health facility. For more on today, to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrón and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. Coming up, Biden announced pardon for son Hunter on tax and gun charges, defying previous stance.
And good evening, everyone. Looking at the rainfall still continuing to build up in the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing on land as of yet, but this is the part of the low pressure area that will give us some rainfall chances, pretty good chances at that, coming up for the rest of the week. What days have the best chances? Find out in our full forecast.
The House Task Force investigation, the assassination attempt on President-elect Donald Trump, is set to hold its last hearing on Thursday. The assassination attempts on President-elect Trump will hold its second and final public hearing this week, with acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe testifying. Afterwards, lawmakers will finalize and release their reports. The investigation includes visits to Butler, Pennsylvania, and West Palm Beach, Florida, where the attempt occurred. Developing news from Washington, D.C., President Biden announced on Sunday he is pardoning his son and Hunter on tax gun charges, even though he previously said he would not do so. Hunter Biden was facing sentencing this month for 2 criminal cases, which could have resulted in decades in prison. He pleaded guilty to 9 tax charges and was convicted of lying on a gun purchase form. President Biden pardoned his son, stating he believed Hunter was unfairly prosecuted and that the case led to a miscarriage of justice. Biden hopes the American people will understand his decision as both a father and a president. To the presidential transition, President-elect Trump announcing plans to fire FBI Director Christopher Wray and replace him with longtime ally Kash Patel. Patel has been a loyal Trump supporter for years and served in his first administration under a number of roles.
President-elect Donald Trump now saying he had a productive dinner Friday with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago. Trudeau making the surprise visit last night after Trump threatened sweeping 25% across-the-board tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico, Trump accusing both countries of allowing drugs and illegal migrants to flow into the U.S. Also at the table, David McCormick, the newly elected Republican senator of Pennsylvania. Trump posting on social media the two leaders discussed fentanyl, trade deals, and what Trump says is a trade deficit between Canada and the U.S., despite the two countries operating under a trade deal that Trump crafted in his first term.
It was an excellent conversation.
Trudeau telling reporters tariffs wouldn't just harm Canadians, but would also raise prices for U.S. consumers and harm industries here at home. Canada is the second largest trading partner of the U.S., behind only Mexico. Both countries accounting for more than $1 trillion in trade a year. President Biden urging caution.
We have an unusual situation in America. We're surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and 2 allies, Mexico and Canada. And the last thing we need to do is begin to screw up those relationships.
And Trump today naming Charles Kushner, the father of his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as his choice for ambassador to France. Kushner was convicted in 2005 of illegal campaign contributions, tax evasion, and witness tampering. Trump pardoned him in the final days of his first term. In West Palm Beach, Florida, Jay O'Brien, ABC News.
President Biden marked World AIDS Day at the White House on Sunday, honoring those lost to the disease. The ceremony featured the AIDS Memorial Quilt displayed on the South Lawn for the first time, remembering 105,000 lives lost. Biden emphasized his administration's ongoing work to address HIV and AIDS.
I'm proud to announce, before the end of my term, the Center for Medical and Medicare and Medicaid Services will update its guidance on HIV care, encouraging states to adopt the best practices using the latest science and technology. It matters. It matters.
Now experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
And good evening, everyone. Looking at the rainfall still continuing to build up in the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing on land as of yet, but this is a part of the low pressure area that will give us some rainfall chances. Pretty good chances at that coming up for the rest of the week. What days have the best chances? Find out in our full forecast. And good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. And looking at the winds, beginning to see more of an easterly component to the winds around here, more off the Gulf of Mexico as well. It increases the humidity level around here. You'll feel that as you're out and about, feeling a little bit more oppressive, just a little bit. But that's important, though, to give us rainfall chances. Need the moisture in the air for a system to lift up and build clouds skyward. That's exactly what's going to happen coming up for the next day or two. Currently, that is in the making in the Gulf of Mexico. Not a tropical system, don't have to worry about that, but just a regular low pressure center over the old frontal boundary in the Gulf of Mexico. It'll continue to kind of wander around the Rio Grande Valley, northern Mexico, the next couple of days, day or two, I should say, 3 days on Monday. Then it'll make more of a trek toward the north, you see, as we put these maps in motion here, as high pressure is temporarily blocking it from moving to the north. But that'll be changing as it moves to the east and gives that low pressure area opportunity to crawl up the coast. Give us good rain chance, especially for your day Wednesday and Thursday as well, with widespread rain is anticipated. Maybe an inch or two of rain before it's all said and done around here. Maybe more than that, hopefully, if the low pressure stays around enough. We'll see the clouds cover still continuing to be dominant in the Crossroads region, keeping it on the dry side overnight tonight and through most of the day on your day Monday. That rain will be trying to make its way to the north, but not having so much success doing so for your early morning hours for your Monday. But as we get toward the Monday evening into the rest of the week, that'll be changing as it moves toward our area of the Texas coast. Victoria, cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies throughout the day on your Monday. No rain anticipated. Cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies for the afternoon, with highs in the upper 60s near 70 degrees. I think we'll top 70 by about 12 noon. And then Cuero, with the 50s or so by 9 a.m., will be in the upper 60s near 70 degrees by the 12 noon, 3 o'clock hour, with plentiful sunshine mixed with some cloud cover here and there. Like I said, mostly dry as well. And Port Lavaca, looking at temperatures in the 50s by 9 a.m., with about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 65, 66 degrees, by 70 degrees or so by the early afternoon hours. Keeping it rain-free for the time being. That won't be lasting too long, as the rain shower chances start after sunset for your day on Monday, and then increase in number as it's 60 to 50% coming up Wednesday and Thursday. That low pressure area showed you treks over the area directly, and then continues toward the end of the week. By the end of the week, we have a front moves down during this time frame right here, about Friday or so, which will begin to increase rain chances a little bit more, at least keep them alive for the time being through the weekend. High temperatures, not anything too cold or too hot, in the 60s and near 70 degrees overall. You see right there, that's the overall trend. Lows in the 50s and 60s overall as well. So cool start to the morning times and mild throughout the day. Carry your umbrella with you because you've been needing it beginning not so much on Monday, but beginning on Monday evening, Tuesday into the weekend, where it looks at this point right here. So make it a great week and stay dry out there. I'm glad to be able to say that. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code you see right there. They'll take you to a webpage. You can download our app, News, Weather, and Sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and free of charge to use. Have a great day.
And for your AP Poll Sunday, see how Texas Bedlam impacted the top 25 and more. Coming up in sports. And although playoff action for the Crossroads is still going strong with 5 teams still remaining, let's talk about a team whose season recently ended, but it's still important to note that they should hold their heads up high. I'm talking about the Calhoun Sandcrabs taking on Livernia. The Sandcrabs went into this game as somewhat of a favorite. Remember, they beat the same team in the regular season by only 2 points. Calhoun's rushing offense was up going early, partly thanks to Derek Salinas. This action was early on Friday afternoon at Katy Legacy Stadium. Livernia was able to get their rushing offense going as well. Here's Livernia sophomore Ty Carter rushing it in for a touchdown. But unfortunately, it was a different song for the Sandcrabs, losing in a close game. Final score 24-21. And the words here are pretty self-explanatory. Hard fought. And here's a word from head coach Whitaker.
Well, we knew going in it's going to be a close game. We told our kids that all week long that this was going to be you're going to find 4 or 5 plays to decide this football game. It's going to be a 1-possession game. Last year we beat them by 7. We beat them this year by the last-second field goal, and they beat us by a field goal today. So that's the way it's been the last 3 times we played each other. 2 good football teams that know each other very well.
All right, thank you, Coach. And on to the Ganado Indians. We talked about them yesterday and heard from Coach Josh Irvin. And their road to the playoffs just received their next destination. They will be taking on the Marlin Bulldogs for the quarterfinals. This game will be in San Marcos at the Toyota Rattler Stadium. Ganado, seem to be the favorites in this game, posing the better record of 12-1, and the Bulldogs with a record of 10-3 in Class 2A. Kickoff is expected to be at 7 p.m. The first Texas Bedlam in 14 years is officially behind us. But let's talk about a familiar face from the Crossroads who got in on some of the action. Dalton Brooks from Shiner, who was in for the Aggies defense. Brooks led the Aggies in tackles with 9 and 1 assisted tackle. Week 15 for college football has tremendously affected the AP poll, so let's talk about it. After Ohio State's upsetting loss to Michigan, Ohio State lose their number 2 spot and fell to number 7. So still in the top 10. Good news for the Longhorns is they secure that number 2 spot after beating the Aggies. Unfortunately for the Aggies, they find themselves completely out of the top 25. Coach Prime and the Buffaloes are the number 20 team, which brings me to your Sunday sports viewer poll, which will be, did the Texas Bedlam live up to your expectations? We know from the sound of things, this is Aggie Town here in the Crossroads. And although things didn't go how you wanted, were you satisfied? And we got 58% that says yes, 35% says no, and 7% is just unsure. And on to the pros. The Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road. Texans taking advantage early on the defensive side of the ball. Trevor Lawrence positioning himself here for a great play, throwing deep, which is then intercepted by Derek Stingley and returned for 31 yards. This came in handy for the Texans. But speaking of Trevor Lawrence, in this next play here you'll see in just a little bit, he was seen scrabbling on the left end, resulting in a 6-yard gain. And this is all happening with 4:20 left in the second quarter. And we want to wish him a speedy recovery as he suffered a concussion and was ruled out for the rest of the game. Reports of a suspension haven't been made to Texas linebacker yet, so we'll make sure that you're aware if and when this happens. The Texans did win the game. Final score, 23-20. And that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray, with that sports knowledge again. Now get ready for a second. Sunday marks National Pie Day. Thank you for coming back and joining us. We're doing things a little differently now, but we're going to toss to weather to see what's coming up for this week. Trey, what's going on?
And good evening once again. Let's take another check before we go of your forecast. For Monday, 30% chance of rain toward the end of the day. Partly cloudy skies otherwise. Highs near 70. Rain chances increase and stay with us throughout the majority of the week, with the best chance of Wednesday and Thursday, lasting through the end of the week into the weekend. Highs in the 60s to near 70. Lows in the 40s and 50s. Well, not so much today or tomorrow, but on Tuesday, have your umbrella and keep it with you for the rest of the time period and make it a great week.
Pumpkin, apple, cherry, chocolate cream, you name it. You might have enjoyed some of those delicious pies over Thanksgiving holiday. It is time to get in a second helping. That is because Sunday is National Pie Day. Americans love pies so much they celebrate it on December 1st and then on January 23rd. And some people even like to take another slice on March 14th, which is National Pie Day. Well, the day celebrates the number used in mathematical equations. That has not stopped some people from marking the day with the popular dessert.
So now it makes sense to me. So it's March 14th, which is 3/14, which is 3.14. So
oh wow,
I just now learned that. You learn something new every day.
Exactly. I didn't even think of it at all. Like, that's actually a math equation.
Yeah.
Marked Pi Day. But pie is so delicious. Well, Ray, do you have a favorite pie?
I actually just went and got some lemon meringue pie. So yeah,
Wow, lemon meringue pie.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a good night snack, should I say?
And I hope this snack is really, really good for you. And thank you for joining us and being here with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join us for Carolina Strong, Parker Cox for 25 News Now Sunrise at 5.